What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another New York Giants video. And in this video, we're going to talk about the next NFL draft prospect that could be in play for the Giants in the first round, in particular at number 7 overall, and that is LSU cornerback Derek Stingley Jr. And yes, the name does sound familiar. He does have family ties to the NFL. But first, folks, before I go dive into him and this prospect, make sure to check us out on all of our social media platforms on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Big Blue Avenue. It is draft week, so the grind begins. Going to pour through numerous prospects over the course of the next couple of days, get through as many as we can leading up to Thursday's NFL draft. And want to quickly plug that I will be doing a NFL draft live stream for rounds 1, 2, and 3 on Thursday and Friday on my Review and Preview Sports Facebook page and YouTube channel. But first, let's discuss Derek Stingley Jr., cornerback, 6 foot, 190 pounds, a junior. He was hosted on a top 30 visit by the New York Football Giants. His father played in the Arena Football League before a brief stint with the Jets in 1999, and he had a pretty successful college career. A lot of his best stats came as a true freshman, though, back in 2019, where he was first-team All-SEC. He was tied 5th in the FBS with 6 interceptions as a freshman, 2 of them against Georgia in the SEC title game off of Jake Fromm. So some good stuff. And not to mention, in 15 starts as a freshman, he also had 15 passes defended. Now, in 2020 is where the injury started to linger on him a little bit. He missed 3 games. Yes, he was first-team All-SEC again, but he did struggle. Had 5 passes defended, did not have any picks in 2020. And then the foot injury this past year in 2021 limited him to just 3 games on the year, 8 tackles, 3.5 tackles for loss, and 1 forced fumble. So a lot of people are wondering, well, will this affect his draft stock? Well, I don't think so. I still think he goes in the top 15 at worst. Now, yes, he's played just 10 games in 2 years, but look at Trey Lance last year, right? He didn't play, and he got picked 3rd overall. And I think what's interesting with Derek Stingley is he's a corner that would fit very well in the Giants' scheme and what they're looking to do. LSU played cover 1 about 42% of the time on defense this past year. So what that means is Stingley was on an island often, and he was very, very good in coverage. On his pro day, he ran a 4.44 40-yard dash and a 38.5-inch vertical. Now, some of the strengths about Stingley Jr. I want to talk about. One of the best pure athletes in his class. Good length. He fits best in a press man scheme, which is what the Giants are trying to do. Long arms. Anticipates outbreaking routes well. Looks to undercut throws. He can burst to recover and close distance when beaten, which is very important in a cornerback. His ball skills are unbelievable as well, which we're going to show in the film breakdown. Now, his weaknesses. He had a bad game against Auburn in 2020 and did not like what I saw there. He needs to compete 100% on every snap. I mean, this guy has had some questionable things about his commitment, about his devotion, and he's not the best tackler. He's very inconsistent in run support as a corner. You're probably not going to be the best tackler on a roster, but you want to be good at it, right? So it's something he has to improve on if he wants to get to that next NFL level. So now we're going to dive into some film breakdown on Derek Stingley. Going to share my screen. We're going to go over some plays, and we'll have some fun chopping this up. So as you can see here, this first clip for Stingley, it is a box out against this receiver right here, and he eventually gets the interception. I'll show you guys. As you can see right here, plain tight press man coverage. So beautifully done. Now, this is an excellent move here by Stingley. So you can see he's not allowing him to get inside leverage, right? And he uses his hand in a way to slow him down, and he's catching up to him speed-wise, and he turns his head for the ball. Right there is something you love to see. When a cornerback turns their head for the ball, they're doing the right thing, and they're much less likely to be called for a penalty flag, even if there's contact on a 50-50 jump ball. So he's still looking. He angled his body, and the athleticism here comes into play makes a David Tyree-like catch, and grabs the interception over this guy. Beautifully done. Now, here's a play against Georgia. Interception off of Jake Fromm in the SEC championship game. And then I'll show you. He'll pop on your screen in just a little bit. All right. So we'll kind of slow this down here. And again, right now, his head is not turned to the ball, but he looks at the last second, does a nice job again. Really good IQ. He gets position on this receiver, and he comes up with the interception. He knows how to get position on these receivers, which is chaos for the opposition, which is definitely going to translate to the next level. Now, here's a pass defended against Texas. This is a bigger receiver in Colin Johnson, who you Giants fans may know was on the football team last season. So Johnson, this is a good recovery here by Stingley. So again, press man, Johnson is going to do a little sluggo route, fake inside and then go. Fake slant and go. And watch what Stingley does to react to it. He's playing the inside, and he knows immediately what's going to happen. So what does he do? He closes in on the larger receiver. Look, there's hand action both ways. But what is Stingley doing? Again, he's looking for the ball. And if anything, Johnson pushed off on Stingley on that play, yet Stingley still makes a great recovery, uses his vertical to his advantage. His length comes into play, and he's able to deflect the pass away. That was definitely a pun intended right there. So here's a pick against Bo Nix, right? So again, shuffles his feet, gets pushed a little bit. Again, larger receiver, looking for position, looks for the football, and he's going to win those 50-50 balls more often than not. And that's why he's such an intriguing prospect. If he's there at 7, he has to at least be considered if Sauce Gardner is off the board. Next up, this is going to be a tackle for loss that causes a fumble. So quarterback here is throwing to the running back, and here's Stingley here coming onto your screen. And just watch him come in real time and make the play. Boom. Nicely done. Leads to an LSU touchdown. Now watch him come in here in slow motion. Good leverage, goes low, and goes for the football, gets it a pop out, and that running back has no chance to hang on right there. That's just beautiful technique by Derek Stingley. Good piece of tackling. Again, people question his tackling. That was a good example of him making a play right there. Here's another interception against Fromm. We talked about him being a good undercut cornerback, able to undercut routes and jump the eyes of a quarterback. Well, he does it beautifully right here. Again, he's on the far side of the screen. And here's one thing. Just look at Jake Fromm. Second he gets the ball, he's staring down his receiver. This is too easy for Stingley. The length and the acceleration. Fight for the ball. He's got it. Receiver has no chance at getting it back. Interception. Textbook. So this, I believe it's the same play. Yep. So this is from his angle. See? He's backing up. And the second he knows, receiver's coming back to the ball, he's already closing in, and he has the better angle. The receiver doesn't see him coming back door. Stingley snags the football away. So cannot really complain about that one. All right. This is a nice play. This next one by Stingley. Another good piece of tackling right here. This is an open field stop on number 4 of Auburn. You're going to see they have a little run design here, a little draw. What does Stingley do? Comes around the corner, makes the play, and you'll see him right here. Boom. 5-yard loss. And, I mean, we'll kind of watch this play again just to give you a better idea. So he's not even in the picture originally. He's lined up against the receiver. Number 18's coming in. He's playing back just in case for the play fake. Initial contact. He's pushed back by 2 defenders. Still on his feet, though. And then Stingley cleans up the trash. This one, I like this rep against Matt Corral, another prospect in this year's draft. So he's lined up on the far side here, I believe. So Corral does a good job head faking. Little slant. Stingley does not have much time to play it. A great play. Great play. You really see his mobility, his awareness, and his technique is perfect. He does not get penalized often, and plays like that are going to make him potentially a Pro Bowl level corner in the NFL if he plays like that. So, again, Georgia here, you're going to see him make a nice play in the end zone against Georgia, jump ball. Looks like the receiver has it for a touchdown. Stingley does not give up on the play. He's so strong as well. We didn't even mention his strength. He loses his 50-50 ball, but watch what he does. He sticks with the play, keeps his hand on the football, and dislodges it. Again, look at position. Little bump. He gets beat by half a step. Again, little contact. That's okay. And strips the football out. I mean, you can't ask for anything less from what, in my opinion, is the second best cornerback prospect in this draft, Derek Stingley Jr., out of LSU. Folks, remember to sign up for BetUS, America's #1 favorite sportsbook. Going to take the time to acknowledge our sponsor here. You can sign up with our promo code below at JOIN125. Get a 125% sign-up bonus up to $2,500, where you can bet on the go, anywhere, anytime. Again, that is BetUS, where the game begins. Folks, hope you all enjoyed this video on Derek Stingley, and make sure to check us out on all of our social media platforms for more up-to-date NFL draft prospect videos, team news surrounding Big Blue, and more content as we get closer to the highly coveted draft day. Without further ado, let's go Big Blue.